Why do you think storytelling is so powerful, especially in this, like, everyone's an entertainer, anybody can put out content, brands are trying to, tell funny stories via commercials. Why do you think storytelling is so important, especially in this day and age?
I've been currently reading Marcus Collins' book, For the Culture,
right.
And he talks about this a lot in terms of marketing is about how we find our tribe and see our identity in it. And I think what makes storytelling really powerful and why it matters to me is it allows people to make that connection of if your identity matches their identity, if what you're talking about is aspirational, that they want to strive for, whether it's in my personal brand or my professional one. So yeah, in my personal brand, I am very committed to being a loud and proud blurred, being an active reader. Yes, being an active reader. Your
blurred flag is
exactly.
flying high.
I fly it very high when people are like, have you seen? I'm like, say less. I've already seen all of Agatha. I've watched it 3 times. Like, don't even worry about me. And I think I realized there's so much power in telling that story of like, how did you fall in love with comics? Why did you get into memory competitions?
Absolutely.
Why do you care so deeply about Beyonce remaking Blackbird? Like I find story is the way we reach one another.
That's beautiful. And I love that you tapped into the personal brand side of storytelling. Let's shift over to the company side, right? What should brands do to be better storytellers? Or on the flip side, what brands are really doing a good job of telling stories through their work?
To your first question, to be better storytellers, I think you have to get real about who you're speaking to. I think I'll use Duolingo as a perfect example.
Okay.
Duolingo could have absolutely pretended that they were Babbel or Rosetta Stone. Of like, we're talking to the very serious language learner who wants to learn Japanese to expand themselves as a professional. And they're like, no, we're talking to the millennial and the Gen Z who took Spanish their entire academic career, retained nothing. Want to somehow be able to say something on their vacation, but they also don't want to like sit down for a classroom activity. And that's
we don't have time.
That's why then it's so funny to us when we're watching people like making videos of themselves in a hurricane shelter, being like, gotta get my Duolingo streak. We're like, yeah, that's Duolingo.
Life.
They're that person. They're not here, sit down. It's a 7-hour course. And at the end of it, we expect fluency. Another brand I think tells their story well because they know themselves is Liquid Death.
Okay.
Even when they make a decision that everybody's like, why are they doing an Elf Cosmetics collab? It is so thought through. Like, I think they recently did one with, I think it was Yeti, and they created a Yeti cooler that looked like a coffin.
Okay.
And I was like, that's their person.
Yes.
Like, I think they were even at Stagecoach recently being like, sell your soul to join Club.
Oh, wow.
Liquid. And exactly. Now, Fiji Water could never.
Ever.
And would never.
Yes.
And I don't expect them to. And so there's so many brands that's so smart. Like, same thing with My Topicals. The way I see them manifest themselves.
It's so good.
Yes. And they're both their story and how the brand shows up, whether it's through their influencers.
Yes.
I just think the way brands get better at storytelling is be realistic about who you are and who you're talking to.
Absolutely.
I think when stuff feels silly and forced, it's because that's not actually your brand, but you want to aspire to move your brand in that direction.
Absolutely.